Okay, I thought I'd do a few videos on the question of beauty, what it is, and how it's been treated in the Western philosophical tradition. I might just mention my book, 6 Names of Beauty, which came out from Routledge in 2004. And perhaps I'll begin by reading you the epigraph to this book. It's a quotation from Sappho, ancient Greek poet, and suggested to me by Arthur Danto, the philosopher of art and art critic. Some say cavalry corps, some infantry, some again will maintain that the swift oars of our fleet are the finest sight on dark earth. But I say that whatever one loves is. I guess that's a fairly good statement of what my own view about what beauty is. I define beauty as follows. Beauty is the object of longing. Now that's plenty vague, and we'll try to figure out a little bit about what that means. But one question that I should probably start out with is the question of beauty's subjectivity. Whether beauty is a quality of persons or a quality of the objects to which they attribute beauty. It's kind of a commonplace of philosophy of art and aesthetics in modernism, for example in Hume and Kant, that beauty is subjective. In fact, it's identified with a certain sort of pleasure, a subjective state in the mind of the beholder. Now, I reject that view, and I'll try to say why. If I was saying that, if I were to assert that the universe is beautiful, and people do assert things like that, I'm not sure whether the universe is beautiful or not, come to think of it, but I would not simply be talking about the little orgasm in my head when I look at the stars or whatever. I would be talking about the stars. I would rhapsodize about the night sky. I wouldn't be paying tribute to the pleasures in my own mind. I'm attributing a quality to the world. Now, in my view, beauty is a feature of a situation or a transaction in which both the object and the subject are embedded. Again, beauty is the object of longing. Now, I think of longing in terms of unsatisfied and perhaps unsatisfiable desire. So, I guess in my view, I would say that the experience of beauty is a fundamental feature of existing as a human subject in time. It's fundamental, for example, to the experience of loss. Longing is, let's distinguish it from wanting, say mere wanting, in virtue of the fact that it's extended over time. It's unsatisfied wanting, or perhaps unsatisfiable wanting. It's wanting as an enduring aspiration. All right? Now, for beings stuck in time, such as ourselves, we will lose everything we have. We're in the process of losing everything we have, including ourselves and our own subjectivity. In some ways, our desires ultimately cannot be fulfilled because we exist in time. All right? Now, that sucks in certain ways, right? You know, but on the other hand, it's what makes the experience of beauty possible for human beings. We can't possess, for example, other human beings. So, I might think Angelina Jolie is beautiful. I might want to marry Angelina Jolie, though that'd probably be a very bad idea, quite unlikely actually. But if I did, she would still escape my entire possession, as well she should. And that would make it possible for me to continue to long for her, which would in turn make possible perhaps an enduring marriage, let's say. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and now we might just remark that, you know, if I talk about beauty in terms of objects, the object of longing, and I bring up Angelina Jolie and so on, we might just mark the fact that there could be an interesting feminist critique of this whole structure of thought, and that beauty is politically problematic in various ways. In fact, maybe it's the source of your eating disorder and so on. And that, you know, it appears to be involved in this whole idea of objectifying persons or objectifying features of the world, environmental features of the world, for example, and that is potentially very politically problematic. But one answer I would give to that critique is precisely that it, you know, though beauty probably does depend on a certain kind of objectification, it also depends on a kind of very intimate transaction between person and thing, in which the integrity of each is in question. It draws you into a sense of identity within a situation between yourself and what you find beautiful, and it depends on the externality of the beautiful thing to yourself. It's not compatible with full possession of the thing. So, I mean, in brief, I say that, you know, the experience of beauty, the philosophers have been right to identify beauty as one of the fundamental values, along with justice, truth, moral goodness, because it's a fundamental dimension of human experience in time, and it is a valuable thing. And it's not identical to these other values, if you ask me. I mean, you know, beauty is truth, truth, beauty. I guess that's Shelley. That seems wrong to me. But on the other hand, it's not something that we can do without, and it's not something that we want to do without, I think, of course. So that's my basic idea about what beauty is, and now I'll go on to talk about some of the theories of beauty that have been developed in our tradition.